Hey, what's up, guys? Yair back here in the kitchen, bringing y'all today another test hand combo video. This time in the flavor of talking about Droll and how to play around Droll, and if we get Drolled, what type of combos we can do. The reason why I have these 6 cards out here is if you saw my latest short, I explained how I took Druis and Nib out of my main deck for a Gamma Driver. So this is now in the main deck because it gives us another way to play around Droll. So these 6 cards are out here because these are our main deck ways to either null Droll, by making non-finito, or, having call by or Gamma for the Droll. And so it's important to recognize this in order to best sequence our hand in order to try to play around Droll, even if we don't hard open these. Obviously, with Nervetto, you need to have a spell and trap as well. And obviously, because you're sending the Nervetto from your hand, it's not combo. It just gets you the non-finito with the recapture. So if you have any other engine pieces, it's really good, but it doesn't get you into combo in and of itself. The field spell requires you to have a spell and trap for the non-finito, as well as another card in hand. So it's very hand hungry. But the bonus is that you summon the Nervetto and then make the non-finito, or rather this goes to the extra deck, then you make your non-finito, so this does get you into combo. Obviously this also plays into Fua, so there is that to note as well, but you can always choose to add if your hand can allow you to make a good board under Fua. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So while I'm shuffling this up, I'm just going to talk about some things from my past couple locals. So Droll, I believe, is going to become a lot more prevalent into the main deck just because it does hit every deck, essentially. There's obviously decks that get hit more or less. If Branded gets hit with Droll, they still make a really, really good board. Cool Tunes, sometimes, if they get hit with Droll, it can hurt them. But obviously, it's just more about limiting what their end board is. So I see Droll going into the main deck a lot more. So it's very important for us to know how we can play around it, since our deck, obviously, gets hurt a lot more by Droll. But you'd be surprised how much you can do under Droll. But without further ado, give this a nice final cut, and we'll draw our 5 hands. And just like last video, I'm going to do 2 test hands. But this time we're going to assume that we're going first both times, and we're going to try to play around Droll. So here we have the planet, so we have a way immediately to try to play around Droll, which is really good. So, and we have DoomZ Change, which is really, really cool. As well as an Adrastea, which is a spell to send for the non-finito. So here, super simply, we can go activate field spell. Field spell effect, reveal the Nerva. If they hit us with a Fua here, straight up, what we can do is we can just add the Nervetto. We can add the Nervetto, and then normal out the Alara, get Raiders, and then Raiders can pop the Adrastea to summon out. You go Raiders, pop, give them 1 draw, summon out the Amalfi, search Drastea. Then you can pop the Amalfi, summon out the Drastea with the Doom Dirge. You can re-equip a Drastea to Alara, and then you can go change and, pop Baby Patron, and you can summon the Patron back out and get your search off Patron. So you can get follow-up. So you'll have Mag plus Alara can go into a Diactrys for a pop. And then, and you also have Raiders on board. So you have Diactrys that can go for a pop, and you can choose to pop the Raiders to get a 2-pop. Or you can just pop the Baby Patron that you'll have on the board too, so you can get follow-up. And then you have Drastea to go into Diactrys or Drastrius for the on-summon equip, the negate and equip. And then you can also use the Doom Dirge to pop the Raiders if you want to then. So you have 2 disruptions, 3 disruptions, 4 disruptions. So you have 4 disruptions just off the engine, and then you also have a mag. So you have 4 disruptions plus a really sticky board. And through giving them 1 draw off the Fua. Against most decks, you'll be fine. It might be harder against like something like Branded. But if it's a game one, you know, you can choose to just fully combo off because you give them one draw off the Fua if you summon the Nervetto out, and then second draw for the non-finito. You can try to just fully combo off. I think with a hand like this, if they do hit you with Fua on Vidolia, personally, I think it's better to just go for the Alara Drastia play with Raiders on board and just play it this way. I usually have a lot more success in this route. So regarding Fua, you know, it's lucky we have so much DoomZ, but also under Droll, we're lucky that we have so much DoomZ since Alara sets, and you know, we can still set the Raiders and we can summon out a Drastia if we were to get hit with Droll and then equip it with the Drastia either from the hand or from the graveyard, most likely from the graveyard because we'd probably pop it with Raiders. But without further ado, my apologies. Whenever I'm doing my test hands just personally, I always end up going into these tangents. So sorry if it's clogging the video too much, but please let me know in the comments. But again, we're going to focus on Droll. So let's assume that they don't have Fua. It's Droll that we're trying to play around. We'll go Vidolia, reveal the Nerva. We'll banish the Mag because it has the least value out of all the cards in our hand. We'll summon out the Nervetto. Anything here? They say no. We'll send the Adrastia and tribute the Nervetto for non-finito. Chainlink 1 Nervetto to summon from deck. Chainlink 2 non-finito to set. So that we play around the most amount of hand traps. Sure, they can hit us with a Harmonia, but if they hit us with a Harmonia, we're gonna set the spell that searches Medius instead, even though we have a normal summon already. That's okay. We're still just gonna do the spell to search Medius to try to bait out another hand trap. Since obviously at that point, if they are outing the non-finito, we can't play around Droll anymore with our hand. And then with the Nervetto, we would just summon out like a Geppetto, honestly. Because if they send Malong, then they bounce the Geppetto. Now we have Geppetto, Change, and Alara in our hand for a follow-up play. Very good, especially because you can scale the Geppetto. Geppetto pop itself in the Alara, pop the Harmonia, get a search, get a set, haven't used your normal summon yet, still have Change, broken, right? Super broken. But again, we'll proceed. So non-finito will set the recapture, and Nervetto will summon out the Ginaldo. Now we can go normal summon Alara, effect to set. Obviously, if they had Imperm, they'd Imperm this. And if they do Imperm this, then honestly, what the next play could be is just going for the Beyond to try to like, because we don't want to play with more cards in our hand. We would just go for Beyond, add back the Nervetto, Beyond would add Shade, and you would just Pendulum Summon 1, just start playing that way, try to eat more hand traps before we commit our normal summon with Alara or using the DoomZ change. So now we have recapture set, we have this. We can go normal Alara, effect. We assume this would probably just go through because of the fact that they would have, you know, Imperm Veilered the non-finito. So again, this is essentially full combo, so I'm just going to run through it. If they only have Droll, right, this would just be full combo. Like, we haven't even triggered Droll yet, which is funny. We can go Adrastia, re-equip, and then XYZ into this, or into Diactrys, and then slap Graflario on top, detach the Adrastia, add another change, because they don't know about the first change in our hand. So we'll just add another change. And then change can pop the Baby Patron, which searches Drastea. Now we can go Drastea effect, pop Graflario. Graflario effect, or my bad. Let's not forget to attach our Doom Dirge. Groflaria effect, summon from deck or graveyard, summon out a Amalfi effect, search, Geppetto. I'm also make sure to summon your Drastia into the middle zone because we're about to go for Beyond. Too many times I accidentally make the zone mistakes of putting stuff that I don't want to link off into these zones. The non-finito can stay here. You can put the things you want onto one side, but you want to like make sure that the middle zone is always clear with whatever you want to link off, and then have the other corner. So if I had it like this, we'd have to link off non-finito or Drastia to get max value out of our Beyond, and that's just bad. So make sure to summon the Drastia here. Then we can link off for a Beyond. Chainlink 1 Ginaldo to add back, chainlink 2 Beyond, because if they negate Beyond, then, you know, I mean, we're fine. We have more than enough additional plays, because we can scale the Geppetto, and Drastia with Doom Dirge can pop the Geppetto, which can search us Terminus, which gets us Vidolium, which gets us more plays. And so now, Ginaldo adds back the Nervetto, because adding back the Baby Patron from the graveyard doesn't really do us anything. And in fact, we want to keep the Baby Patron in the graveyard because we want to go for Power Patron Purification, the Link 2 play later. Beyond searches Shade. And then now we can go Scale. And then Pendulum Summon. And you can Pendulum Summon the Nervetto out of your hand. You can then link the Beyond and the Nervetto out for Exceed. Exceed adds back the Nervetto. Exceed summons the Nervetto. And then on that summon, you bounce the Shade. It's your earliest ability, your earliest time to be able to bounce Shade. You do have other times later in the combo to bounce Shade and still get the same value out of Shade. However, if something gets stopped later on and Shade gets stuck here, you just like outed yourself an extender for no reason. So you would just bounce the Shade here. And then now we can go for Mercurium, which will attach the Spell Canceller. And then link off for Quartet. And obviously, let's say they had Droll, right? We have to use the recapture, so then non-finito gets used. Now here, there's a couple of different routes. We can special Shade and Shade pop Geppetto and continue in that route. We can also Charmer summon these guys out. I don't want to use the Charmer effect yet, because we aren't able to set up a Verudris just yet. So what I would do is I personally would summon out the Shade. Remember, we've already used Change, so this is just here. If later down the line we can use Raiders to pop the Change to get an add back summon, and then also summon another guy with Raiders. So we'll do that later. But for right now, we're just here. Shade summon, Shade pay 1,000, pop, and honestly, I would just send another Nervetto, just so we can have more into the extra deck. Yeah, you do it like this, because now we can go... Yeah, because we want to keep the second Vidolium in the deck for follow-up. So now Geppetto can search us Terminus. Terminus can then dump the Nervetto from the extra deck, add Vidolium. And then now, I said dump the Nervetto from the extra deck, but that's incorrect. You dump the Geppetto from the extra deck because Quartet's going to want to target Geppetto and one of the 10s, because Vidolium is able to get one of the 10s out, and then Charmer's going to get another 10 out, so we can make Verudris. And then Geppetto equates to Jupiter, which means that we're going to be able to have Jupiter equip the Adrastia to turn Jupiter into another 4, and Jupiter will summon one of the 4s. So it's 100% dump Geppetto from the extra deck, add the Vidolium. Now we can go scale Vidolium, summon out not the Geppetto, You can summon out the Ginaldo or the Nervetto. That doesn't matter. I'll summon out the... I'm going to summon out the Nervetto just because I'm going to summon the Ginaldo with Charmer so that I have to evolve it into the Synchro so that I can get a Synchro into the graveyard so that on the crackback, Vidolium is like more likely to be live immediately because we'll have a Synchro and a XYZ in graveyard. Non-Finito comes back in end phase and we'll most likely hit the graveyard at some point. So we'll be able to make Vidolium like immediately. Obviously, we can shuffle the Non-Finito from field, but you get the gist. So we summon this out. Then now Charmer can target this. Can target Geppetto and Ginaldo. Summon the two out. And then right here... Oh, and... sorry. I was talking so much that I missed a step. So Vidolium summons out the Nervetto, and then Vidolium searches us. Vidolium can search us... We could search Terminus for just like immediate follow-up. We can search like a Geppetto. We could search another Nervetto to maybe try to set that up. Honestly, me personally, I feel like just adding a Terminus is the move. Nah. Adding Geppetto is the move, and I'll explain why. We want to try to like not have cards in our hand, just in case we're playing against Cooltoon. So the Rotary isn't viable, and we can always like pop Geppetto on their turn to then search Terminus, and it's like not a big deal that the Geppetto's out of the deck, because Terminus can always just get us access to it again. And so now we don't need to scale the Geppetto right away. Now we can go Quartet, summon. And we also want to get the Geppetto out of the deck because why did I point at Quartet? We want to get the Geppetto out of the deck because we're about to evolve Ginaldo. And so we have to banish something. Banishing a Nervetto is like whatever. Banishing the Geppetto can hurt. Geppetto is more valuable to us in the grind game. So now we cut. And then we do Ginaldo effect. And nice, hit nothing but non-engine. We love that. Evolve into Genora. And then we can go for Varudris. Listen, if they got Droll Nib, they got Droll Nib. I don't know what to say. But we would still at the very least have like a Raiders play with change. So, and we'd have a Raiders play with change. It sucks we already did the Adrastea to re-equip, so we can't re-equip it to Drastea, but we could go for like a Link 2 play because we haven't done the Link 2 yet, and that can get us Medius, so we can still try to set some things up. And we would still be able to probably set up a Link 2 for an SP play as well as Varudris through Nib. Which is honestly like kind of cool in a situation where they have Droll Nib. But anyways, we summon our Varudris, and then now we can now we can go Drastea with the effect of Doom Dirge, pop the Quartet, and then we can go Geppetto effect to evolve. We banished our last Geppetto, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We can do this, and we pop, evolve, and attach the Geppetto from hand. Jupiter can then, on summon, attach the Adrastea from the graveyard, because we haven't used the pop to summon. We can do Jupiter now to summon out a Malthy. It doesn't matter. We can summon a Malthy or a Lara. We want one of the fours. And honestly, just like in the previous video, we aren't even going to use the Adrastea to pop summon because we're just going to go for a Link 2 play. And then Purification adds Etherealize past Lull. So now we can go Etherealize past Lull, summon Medius. Medius can then summon or add. And honestly, I would just add Nervetto. Because Non-Finito is going to be coming back. We don't want it to... Like, it could just go to the graveyard, but just having a random 10 on the board doesn't really actually do anything. So now we have this. And now these two can go for a Dugaris. And... Could go for Dugaris. we don't actually need to go for Dagaris here just yet because we're not going to be doing anything but XYZ summoning now. So now we can go Raiders, pop change, summon Alara, because we want to keep an Alara and an Amalfi in deck. So we take the Alara out. I see. Now we're short some things. Yeah, that's okay. We don't need it. Because we can go summon the Alara, and then change can add back. We could add back the Adrastea so that we can equip it to Drastea to have a big Drastrius. We could also add back Diactrys, or we could also add back Diactrys so that we have that for the follow-up. It's a number of things. We could add back the Griflario. Honestly, I feel like adding back the Adrastea would be better here. And then we can equip it to the Drastea. And then now, the reason why I want to do it like this is so that we can go for the Dagaris. Don't forget to activate the Nervetto because we're about to not be able to. And then go Effect to Reborn. And we reborn the Spell Canceller. The reason why I wanted to do it like this is because I didn't want to summon the Medius. Also, the Medius should be in attack position, but I didn't want to summon the Medius from the graveyard because then if I link it off, it'll get banished. I want to keep the Medius for follow-up. So that's why I did it like this. We lose out on shuffling back our Dagaris, but that's okay because we have all of the types for Vidolium. Where's the Synchro's right here. We have all the types for Vidolium to summon itself out, and we can always just shuffle back the Dagaris if we want to go for a cheeky, double the attack play. So that's this. Obviously, we have the Drastea to make a big Drastrius for the disruptions. We can pop Raiders as a disruption. Varudris is a disruption, like 2 disruptions. We got the SP play, we have Spell Canceller. This is like functionally full board, obviously. I also loved how I was talking about that, and then at the end of the day, like Nonfinito still has to go to the graveyard because we don't have space. But that's fine. This is still better because we don't summon the Medius out from the graveyard. Since we don't play the Archmage Diactrys yet. So that's this combo. Sorry if it took a bit long. As you can see, this deck is like highly complicated. There's so many different routes that you can go, and so many decisions that you need to make, like way ahead of time that have repercussions later in the combo. It's what I really like about it. It's very, very pilot dependent. It's very rewarding to like know how the inner workings of the deck. I'm also gonna make a video, like kind of showcasing, what cards can get you to what cards. I did it personally for myself to try to figure out the interconnectings of the deck. And I found it like very, very helpful to kind of visualize, the branches that you have to go from like one card to get to whatever other card. Because technically any card in this deck, borderline any card in this deck can get you into borderline any other card in this deck. And it's always helpful to be able to see that. So we're just shuffling up again real quick. A couple more riffles. And here we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right, last hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, obviously, going second, we got Perulia Fua. That's busted. And before they have Call by Ash. However, for going first, these are dead cards. And then we have Amalfi, Drastea, and Adrastea. So we'll go normal Amalfi. Effect to search. If this gets stopped, so be it, right? Like if this gets ashed, we can then go Adrastea, like equip Adrastea, and then go rank up, and we can go full combo that way. Now, obviously, in terms of playing around Droll, we don't really have a way to play around Droll. So if they ash this, and then we're allowed to rank up into Diactrys and then Griflario. Griflario searches us change, and then if we get Drolled there, I'll actually just show it. Like, say they ash this, right? And it's like, cool, equip Adrastea, rank up. This is like pretty much just DoomZ combo at this point, right? We equip, or my bad, evolve, then slap this on top, detach the Adrastea, summon, add change, Oh no! Droll! RIP. So there's a couple of routes that we could do, honestly. We could... If we really, really want these Charmies to get value, we could go Address Day or re-equip, pop, summon out, because this can summon from anywhere but deck, just because we don't have anything in graveyard. We do have a legal target with Drestea to summon, so we can pop this, summon back the Amalfi. This then summons out Alara, which then Alara can pop. Or this can summon out Alara, you won't, or, better yet, I guess you would just Graflario. No, this has to summon a non-XYZ. So yeah, Graflario would just summon out like Alara, and then you just link 2 into SP. And then you SP early and do this. Me personally, I think that's trash. So So I think what the correct play here would be, okay, now we'll go Drestea, pop, right? And then Chainlink 1, or let's attach our equip. Graflario can then send... Graflario can equip, or not equip. Graflario can summon, because I want to try to get a Varudras on board if we get under Droll in this situation. Because I think getting Varudras with Drastea and Raiders is like really good. That's like 2 pops, a negate and a pop, and a negate and equip and an equip. So the way that we go about that, it's either summoning Alara or it's summoning Geppetto here. Change, I want Change to be able to pop something of value, so I want to say that I summon Geppetto here. And then I can go Change, Effect Address Deo with Doom Dirge, pop Change, pop Alara. Then we can go, this is how we do it. And then we can go Chainlink 1, Change to add back and summon, Chainlink to Alara to set. This sets the Raiders, and then we can add back Amalfi and summon Amalfi. Now we can go Raiders, pop the Amalfi, summon out Geppetto, go for Varudras play. Because we're not going for Dugara summon back, we'll just summon it in defense. And then Drestea can pay 800 and re-equip to Drestea. And yeah, sure, we got 2 dead cards in our hand, but it is also 2 unknowns that, you can let your opponent, you can try to bluff just, every now and then, look at your hand, whatever, try to bluff that you have something real. But what we do have that is real is we have Drestea with the effect of Doom Dirge, pop Raiders, get a pop, right? So 1 pop. Varudras, negate, and then destroy a card. So that's 2 pops and a negate. Then we have Drestea to rank up into Drastrius, get an equip, and then get negate and equip, and you still have 2 materials on this guy. And then you can also use the effect with Doom Dirge, pop the Varudras, pop a card. So what we have here is we have 1 pop, 2 pop with the negate, 3 pop with the card. So that's 3 pops. 3 pops, 2 equips, and 2 negates, right? You have an Omni negate, and then pop a card. Target pop a monster. Non-target pop a card. Non-target equip a monster. Negate non-target equip a monster. And then non-target equip card. Yeah, it's broken. It's like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 disruptions through Droll. And you have like really good follow-up, right? And Drastrius is obviously super sticky, right? Can't be destroyed by battle card effects once. It's 3,500 at this point. And if we go back to our turn, right, it doesn't even, drawing Vidolium there is absurd, but like we don't even need to draw anything real because at the very least we have, because at the very least we could go like normal Charmy, Drestea re-equip, effect pop, summon out Alara, and then Alara can set you Change, which can pop Baby Patron, which can search you Geppetto. And then Geppetto can pop the Alara and pop itself, pop a card, search Terminus, and that's how you get into your patrons. So pretty good, pretty good. I will end the video here because I can already imagine it's probably about a half hour long. Let me know how this one was, and until next time, stay cooking, folks.